What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, well, I wanted to talk about cards today, and yes, the title is going to be, Are Cards the Best Investment? And yes, I'm using air quotes on investment because you know how I feel about cards. I don't think anybody should be, well, first of all, this is not a financial channel. This is not financial advice. This is about the game. But what I'm trying to get at here when we talk about cards is the fact that cards bring you ultimate utility within the game. You can play the game by owning cards, or I guess you could rent the cards too. But if you have the cards in your collection, no matter what you paid for them, you will always be able to play the game, assuming the game is around. And of course, any new game modes that may be added in the future. So when you look across the ecosystem and you think about the actual utility of a lot of the items that people claim that they invest in, right? Again, this is not financial advice, but there are a lot of people who talk about investing in SPS, investing in node licenses, investing in land, right? When you look at all of those, everything is super speculative, and specifically for anything SPS related, the SPS token, node licenses also, we haven't seen, well, let's take it back to SPS for a second. We haven't quite seen any game that has successfully done a play to earn where the token that is put out doesn't eventually go to, not zero, but as close to zero as possible. So obviously with SPS, we know that there is a finite cap. We know that we're still relatively early in the distribution phase. But that being said, we haven't seen the utility or the demand come in from players to kind of have that be some kind of equilibrium, to have it be at an equilibrium that is anywhere close to being respectable, right? We're down under 2 cents now. And, the rewards we've seen across the board from playing the game, from SPS staking, from LP rewards, brawls, all that, it's just gone down and down and down as SPS became the reward token in the middle of last year. So this is not to dump on SPS. SPS can do that all by itself. But my point with this is, if you're coming into the game, or even if you're in the game now, and you look at this and ask yourself, okay, well, what kind of utility do I get out of being in the Splinterlands ecosystem? I have never said to invest in cards. I actually don't like them as an asset class. They're, and again, none of this financial advice, but like I say for myself, I don't quote unquote invest in cards because they are infinitely inflationary as an asset class, which Aggie actually said on the last town hall. So he recognizes that too. There will always be more cards and you don't need every single card to play. So, just because I don't have an Archmage Arius doesn't mean I can't play the game, even though there's only 87 of them, right? Or Prince Julian. So at the end of the day, when it comes to how you want to interact with Splinterlands, the question I find myself asking, again, kind of rhetorically with this video is, well, maybe cards are the best investment in the sense that, and again, speaking for myself only, cards are the best investment in the sense that I enjoy playing the game. I enjoy participating in brawls, playing in tournaments, doing a couple of battles here and there throughout the day, and just getting some enjoyment out of that. And if I didn't worry about SPS, if I didn't care about the price of SPS, and SPS hasn't given me a reason to care about its price yet, what if I just sold all my SPS every day? You get what I'm saying? If I just played the game, bought cards that I liked playing that could help me climb the ranks, do better throughout, didn't care about the price of SPS because I was just taking my ice cream money every single day from however much SPS I earned. And so I don't know if this will be perfect, but we can see here, I've already gotten, through ranked modern play, I've gotten about 12 SPS. And when was this done? So I would say throughout the day, I can probably get close to like anywhere between 20 to 25 SPS, just, roughly. That's 50 cents a day. At the end of the week, that's a cup of coffee, right? And so obviously, when you look at the price of what I paid for my cards versus even the price that they are right now, it's kind of like, well, what's the APR? And then I don't even want to calculate it because it's going to make me sad. But my point being is that you get much more utility out of cards than you do anything else in the game. Validator node licenses aren't live. SPS is not, the only utility that it has right now is for tournaments and for governance, which again, I think is important, and I stake my SPS for that reason. But at the end of the day, we need way more utility for that. And then land, right? We haven't seen what land can bring yet. It's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. But ultimately, at the end of the day, everything is run through these cards. So as I look forward, right, and try to figure out, okay, not just what my approach would be, but if I was new to the game and trying to onboard friends, which I do regularly, it's like, okay, stop worrying about the price of SPS. Stop worrying about, everything else, all the different assets within the game. I think really it's just like, if you want to come in and play, and it doesn't really matter what level you want to play at, right? If you want to come in and play and you have X amount that you're willing to spend on cards, don't look at what the price or the value of SPS is, because just assume that you're going to sell it all anyway, right? Like, again, it might even be that this distribution phase that we're in lasts for like another year until we get deep into the, a bull run after the halving. So if anything, we should be rushing to sell our SPS right now while we still have 2 cents of value, roughly 2 cents of value, right? And it's kind of like, well, if you had told me that 6 months ago, man, I could have been selling it, or eight months ago, whenever Riftwatch was out, 9, 8, 7, 6 cents, right? We could have been selling and then accumulating HBD or something else. So my point with this is, again, I'm not trying to hate on SPS here. SPS has its problems. I've already talked enough and at length about that. We are hopefully going to get more utility for the token with the SPS staking requirements. We are going to get utility for DEC, which is by extension into SPS with land. Is it going to be enough? I can actually tell you that I'm no longer sure, right? It's exciting, but we haven't seen anything really work yet. So and I've talked about this previously, I don't think that there's any one action that the team can take. And this is not shade being thrown at the team. I don't think that there's any action that the team can take, right? No matter whatever superhuman powers that they have, there's nothing that they can do to override just how powerful the bear market is. So until and unless we get dumb money, bull run money coming back into the space, it's just a waiting game. And so if that's how it's going to be, and that's how we're going to be onboarding players, it's like, well, don't worry about SPS, right? Like SPS, the amount of SPS you earn at the end of the week, end of the month might buy you a cup of coffee. But do you like playing the game, right? Are you willing to throw in, $50, $100 to get a decent, like maybe silver level deck, especially with the value that cards are at right now? So that's kind of where my head is at when it's like, okay, maybe cards are the best investment because I have the most fun with them. Watching my SPS go down in value, even as I accumulate more and more and more, is not fun. Watching node licenses, which are, at tranche 2 being sold for a fourth of their price, right? Actually, no. It's not even a tenth of their price. They're going for like $500 on the secondary market, when in the store they're technically $5,000, right? So none of that. At the end of the day, like it's obviously not a great time to invest in crypto, but it could be a cool time to buy some cards and play the game and get your utility from that, get your ROI from the actual entertainment. And I don't even want to go into that because I know a lot of people are going to say, well, we need better gameplay, we need more features, we need new game modes. And you are absolutely right. And I do hope that stuff is coming along. But I personally enjoy the game for what it is. I enjoy the kind of sub-community culture that I have with my guild, with the YouTube channel. I enjoy getting together with people, talking about the game, talking about what's happening with it, and actually even playing like tournaments and things like that. So there is a utility for me. And sadly, cards provide the most utility. The one thing I don't consider an asset or an investment provide the most utility to my actual life versus any of the other assets within the game. Now, obviously, I'm still here and I'm sticking around because I do believe that is going to change. It's just, I don't think that that's going to change anytime soon unless we get a massive, massive bull run. But I think if we were to get a bull run in 2023, it will be because the world is kind of falling apart and there would be an exit from major currencies like the dollar, which would bring its own problems IRL rather than just, whatever we do here, fake money on the internet. So, that being said, I'm hopeful. I'm willing to wait until we get to the bull run or the next Bitcoin halving, which should be the middle of next year, and usually the 6 to 18 months following that, we get the ensuing bull run. So I'm here for the long run, right? I'm not, again, this is not me saying I hate Splinterlands, I'm throwing shade. No, I don't. Actually, I really respect and admire the team. I really love the community, and I enjoy the game. I cannot believe that I've been playing this game for coming up on 2 years now. When we get to August, playing this game like almost every single day, which is phenomenal. But that's kind of where my head is at. And as I look through how I were to deploy capital, and I don't even like to say it like that because it sounds too fancy, specifically how I would spend money in the game, because again, I'm really trying not to look at it as an investment. It's just like, what are the cards that I want to have long run? What are the cards that I think could have a lot of value and utility for me in this current modern format and in the future modern format when Untamed rotates out and Rebellion comes in? But that's where my head is at. I'm curious to get your thoughts on this, how you feel about it overall. If you're, in the same kind of headspace as I am, if you're not, if you think I'm too salty, if you think I'm too bullish, I would love to know where you are at and what you're thinking. That is all I have for you. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.